you do when you want to chuck everything and run away to a Buddhist temple and Buddhas are so not your thing? 3 of my girlfriends and I make sense of the hormonal changes that are kicking us in the butt and how we're kicking back.
We pick up in part 2 of the conversation just as it was getting real.
Wow, I haven't wanted to be here on this planet for a couple of weeks. And I never associated it with my hormones till this conversation right now.
Yeah. And I'm thinking the same thing. I mean, we went through a big move the past 6 months, and I equated what I was feeling with this feeling of, you know, moving and the stress and getting my kids back in schools and all of that. But really now with this conversation, I'm not homesick as in from New York. I was never homesick. So everyone's like, oh, it's just homesickness. But now I'm thinking maybe this is something else.
Unlike you, like triple A plus, you know, attack, get things done. You know, literally I would lay on the bed saying, all right, I guess I can't do what I promised I was going to do. Just take me.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling of take me, and realized, oh my God, it's not, the emotions were real because I was really feeling them, but we're not aware of what's causing the emotions, and we're chemical.
And there's no stop check there.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking, for me, because I have young children, I was like feeling guilty that I wanted not to be around.
Shannon, you brought up something really good, and I want to talk about how is this shift, these things that are going on chemically, how is it affecting your family, your relationship with your family?
Sometimes my husband looks at me and goes, this is not the person I remember. This is not the, you know, you're tougher than this. You're the one who pulls us through, and you don't even want to do that. What's going on? And, you know, so for that, and my daughters, they both have autism, so one of them can't speak much, but her emotions just completely have changed since the past few months, that I've been feeling like things are. She's emulating what I'm feeling in physical format. It's like I see it all the time, and so now it's almost like I pretend.
So you feel like you have to put on a show and deny what you're actually going through.
At least to her. I don't deny it to my husband. He hears all the crap.
How is it affecting your relationship with your husband?
Oh, well, he just feels like we are not the same people that we used to be, and he doesn't think I have my act together. He's like, oh, pull it together, you know, and he doesn't mean it into a, you're all laughing. He is the most kind person. If I call on the phone and say, I can't deal with the girls anymore, he is an hour away in San Francisco, and he will come back, take off work, come back, take over, and go do what you want to do. He's very good about that, but he also thinks that I got to kind of get out of this.
Yeah. I had that realization that I was definitely beside myself, and I talked to my husband and I said, you know, I think this is the hormones. I'm just like grumpy and not executing and so on and so forth. And he goes, wow, that's really great news because I thought you hated me. No, no, not at all. I'm just hating myself at the moment, and I'll be right back. Right?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people get divorced at this time.
Admitting it. Admitting that you don't even know what it is, but I'll go and find out, is like taking that knapsack, excuse the expression, of crap, and just taking it off and putting it down somewhere.
How is it affecting your work and what you're wanting to accomplish in the world?
I'm going through a huge change right now. So I've been doing the same things. I've been expanding. I mean, I've been very happy with my work. And I feel that something is waiting to be born out of me right now. I literally feel a rebirth. And I have to say, I experience everything that you beautifully honest women are sharing. I'm so grateful for that, to not feel alone. And for me right now, I am literally in a place of complete embracing.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this physical thing has brought in this, it felt initially incredibly uncomfortable and despair and all of that, and now I feel like, what is your message to me? Like, what is coming through me because of this? Because it feels like there's a wholly new me, and I mean WH, wholly new me coming through, wholly new work, a stillness that's being asked of someone like No More Warrior. What is it like to just sit in stillness? What is it like to sit in conversation? and say, what is mine to do? Who am I to be? What is my next work? And to let go of everything, knowing, create trust. It's an amazing time, and I'm very much in process.
Do you think this is just hormonal, or do you think that perhaps the paradigm that we've been taught or we've been shown to very much attack, accomplish, that I know I've used up, I've borrowed my fuel from the future from attacking. It's not just hormonal. I think there's a whole new way to approach how we show up on the planet.
I 100% do. You know, look, we are the first, when you think about it, as baby boomers. Our parents, our mothers, they got hysterectomies. You know, I didn't even know who to ask, like, when did your period stop? And what was it like? There was no one for me to talk to. They were very beholden and still in that whole male-female paradigm. We were the first ones to come forward and say, you know, after the feminist regime, so to speak, say, I am going to work, I am this kind of a person, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm here to give this forth to the planet. But we are actually creating for the next to come forward. And I think it's really important for us what choices we make, as you say, in this paradigm, physically, emotionally, to just be still. Okay, we've tried that, created success, but our bodies and our spirit are calling forth something completely different.
Some days, the hormones are crazy and all of those things, but there's this small thing that the universe gives me, and it lets me see how I inspire others.
I think that's the real power that we have as women that we don't realize. And we, whether it's through hormones or our own self-talk or our own need to accomplish, actually don't realize that we're not only the boat, we're the water, and we're making it challenging for the people around us. Imagine if you wanted to give a younger woman, whether she hasn't even started to hit these things that we're feeling, what advice or insight would you like to share?
Get on Bioidenticals as soon as possible.
Totally.
And, you know, the other thing, and actually it is my mantra right now, so this is what I would bring back in time, which is, you know, if this was your last day, I mean, literally, not to be corny, but if this was your last breath, if this was your last day on the planet, what would you choose?
For me, I think it's to be fearless. When Debbie was talking, I had this vision, and I always seem to go back there because it's so simplistic. I like the tribes. You know, the old ladies sitting around the watering hole, and you say, you know, there's your 25-year-old, and then you have the 60 and 80-year-olds. And one of the things is my mom always told me is don't take yourself so seriously.
Shannon, do you want to add anything to this?
For me,
from the hormonal standpoint?
This is normal. You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
People, you know, you're going to be okay. It sometimes sucks. It sometimes is great. And you will love it and hate it all. And it's okay. The key is to keep what everyone said. The key is to keep moving forward and be happy.
For me, I've always put everybody else first my whole life. It's what can I'm just designed that way. You know, I might be outgoing and funny and all that stuff, but in my instinct, I would always put everybody else first. And as women, we're, you know, very often biologically designed to do that. You know, I call it last possible moment. Like you've ever noticed you're in a car and you're on a road trip, and when you finally get to the point where you say you have to go to the bathroom, you've really had to go to the bathroom for like 45 minutes. I realized that I needed to get self-centered. That you have to take care of your self first in all ways in order to really be there to take care of the world around you. And I had to learn that when I was all empty, when I had gotten so depleted and so, run out of the chemicals. From the science side and the chemical side is to understand that hormones run the ship. They literally run the ship. Doesn't matter how much you believe in The Secret, doesn't matter how many Tony Robbins workshops you take, that hormones run the ship. And I wish somebody had told me when I was 30 or early 30s to get a chemical, to do my blood work, to get a baseline of what my hormones really were like, at that state, and to know that I could add ingredients later. Like Debbie said, the bioidenticals. Bioidenticals have changed my life.
I'm just barely 2 weeks into the bioidenticals. And now this is where women came in. Women said to me, I thought 2 weeks and you knew. They're like, no. 90 days, 6 months.
Bringing on the doctor that I worked with, and I went to an integrative doctor. So I do an interview with him and how he approached the whole thing. And yeah, it really depends on how big of a hole you dug for yourself.
I think too, for me, one of the things that I was curious about when it started for me was how long was it going to last? Excuse me, is this like 3 years, 2 years, 6 months, 8 months? Like, what's that look like?
Never finished.
Exactly. I think it's one of those. It's like being an entrepreneur. You never graduate to a businesswoman. You will always be that entrepreneur.
And our hormones and our life are in process. It's always going, and it's just being aware of what is now and adjusting it to optimal levels so that you can be happy, accomplish the life you want, enjoy.
That's so bang on, girl.
So how has this conversation been for you guys?
Stunning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
I think we're going to get to that place of greater understanding faster than the doctors when we share what's working and what's not working. Would you join me again?
I would.
Absolutely.
Totally
Love
honored.
to.
Great.
I think this is so helpful, being at the beginning of this, the end of one part of my life and the beginning of another, to have all of you to hang out with and be this incredibly honest and helpful with.
All of us are still moved by the openness that took place. There's a power in hearing what someone else is going through, don't you think? Hopefully you realize something about yourself and you can set the next person straight who says that's just a part of getting old. Now you know, you don't have to get old. Age? Yes. Old? No friggin' way. Thank you for watching part 2 of this conversation. If you missed part 1, you can see how it began right there. What's the most frustrating change that you're noticing? Let me know in the comments below or tweet me at Kim Castle, #HappyHormones. Thank you so much for inviting me into your life today. Be sure to share kimTV with a woman that you love. Till next time, live life on full. And if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe and make yourself known. Every week I share tips and resources and answers on the anti-aging road back to vitality and energy and feeling your best. By subscribing, you'll be personally notified when I do, and you can be a part of the conversation. Just log into YouTube with your Gmail account, subscribe by clicking on the red button, and share your experience in the comment section below. So easy.